my brother. You've met him before. He's back. We're thinking about
Hello.
starting a new segment called Cigars and Bourbon with Karyl and Ken. If you guys want to listen to it, let us
Right.
know.
No.
So Ken, so you got your cigar? Got your cigar or your bourbon yet?
Well,
Show us what you got. Show us your toys.
let's go pick it out.
Okay.
Well, here is my cigar bar. And there's my humidor, my travel humidor. And when I was on board the ship, I got you and Jeremy a sample pack.
Woo! Oh, happy us.
And
So joy.
and I actually tried these myself, and they were great. Hopefully,
Oh
you
my
guys
God.
will
I'm
really
so
enjoy it.
excited.
But today I'm gonna pick
Yeah, look at that
a Monte
humidor.
Cristo.
Mm.
So I'm gonna pick my Monte Cristo and my bourbon. I'm really a Maker's Mark um, fan,
Yeah, you
but
could
I've
go
really
wrong with
come
Maker's Mark.
to enjoy Woodford Reserve. But I have come to really love the Knob Creek Smoked Maple,
Yeah, I had that at your house.
and
Yummy.
it is it is like eating pancakes. It's great,
Oh,
absolutely great. So
awesome.
so those are my choices for today.
Um, well, I'm
And I'm
smoking.
going outside to my deck,
His
and I
smoking
got the fire
area.
pit going.
Ah, nice.
So now
Cool.
I'm getting settled in, and we can kick this show off.
Awesome. And I'm smoking an Oliva. It's one of my favorites. Mmm. Yum, 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 yum. And I usually drink
Nice,
bourbon a lot. I also like scotch. So I'm switching it up today from bourbon to some Johnny Walker. Some Johnny Walker Black.
nice.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, when I was on board ship, they had a $5,000 bottle of Pappy Van Winkle.
Oh, really? Wow.
Oh my
I can't
gosh!
believe they had that.
It
Usually it's like some kind of cognac they have
yeah,
on every ship.
I was really, man, I was like, man, I can I can remortgage my house. I can afford that.
I love
I was
it.
I was seriously really thinking about doing, um, finding some way to buy it and justify it.
Buy it and
But
justify it.
but
Sounds like
com-
a
but
song.
but but calmer heads have prevailed, and I didn't buy it.
And you didn't.
So
She must have not
that's
been
right.
tipsy yet. How about
That's right.
some? Yeah, we're gonna do one episode. It's called. It's gonna. The subject's gonna be why you don't shop online and drink. That's a whole other story. I got myself in some buying vacations accidentally, clothes. Oh, we got to get into that sometime. It's
Oh,
funny. Not just
oh,
me.
Carol.
Jeremy's my partner in crime.
I done uh, all my Christmas shopping online, and most of it was when I was hammered. I mean, it's just, for some reason, it just focused me, and I didn't,
You're like,
because most of the time when I online shop, I go online to find a specified item.
right.
Then I just kind of go up into the weeds and start looking at other things. But man, when I'm hammered, I'm just like, oh, dollhouse
Ooh,
for
I know.
bam, get it.
Merry Christmas to your daughters.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I love it.
And Abigail getting both of her books that she wanted,
Oh yeah.
courtesy of my drunk shopping. So mm, it,
Oh, you're breaking up a little.
no,
Hey, you're breaking up a
I got a
little.
question for you.
You're breaking up
Can
a
you?
little bit.
How about now?
Oh, way much better. That's better. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh yeah.
Now I got a question for you, sis.
Okay.
Well, when you break into a new cigar, and do you ever moisten the tip with coffee or any particular type of bourbon, or do you just go right into it?
I usually just go right into it, but that's not a bad idea. What? How do you do it?
Well, well, I was reading in Cigar Aficionado that Arnold Schwarzenegger learned from some other guy that was been smoking all his life, and was talking about sweetening the tip with bourbon, just dipping
Oh
it in,
no, I'll try Scott.
and just so that it
This is what I got up here
just
right now.
soak just a little bit,
Oh my
and
gosh.
it will
Yes.
enhance the taste.
Oh my gosh, it
It
really
will,
does.
and
It's like,
really, when I'm drinking the smoked maple, it kind of put that maple taste
yeah,
into the cigar,
kind of
and
like
so I
Oliva.
started doing it, and
Yeah, it's kind of like
I've
Oliva
really
and
liked
Johnny
it.
Walker had a baby.
That's right.
So Ken and I, this episode's about growing up in the 80s and 90s, and which was
Mhm.
the best time I think for kids because you got the best cartoons. Well, to me, the best video games. My son would probably debate that. But the best commercials, toy commercials. Oh my god, it was just a fun time to grow up in the 80s and 90s as kids. Which
Right,
yeah. but
right.
and Ken and I, we both, we grew up in Eastern Kentucky. It was a very different place many years ago. And I think it's very different now, and I credit our generation for that. I think they've done a really
Yes,
great job with the town and bringing new events and stuff like that to the town. But it was a very different world back there. So it's like we were very isolated. So like when it came to like video games, toys or anything like that, that was basically our entertainment. We didn't grow up near a
yeah,
mall or anything. But yeah, now Pikeville's just the cutest little town and just love it. Um, but I think we're going to start off like with our video games, Ken. Like, do
sure.
you remember like do you remember getting our Atari? I vaguely remember that. I was so little.
Yeah,
I was like 3 or 4. I
yeah.
remember getting it and playing Frogger, and I sucked. And what else? What else did we play on that? Pac-Man? Oh yeah, Pac-Man. I really
Uh,
died on that a lot. I didn't know how to
yeah.
play it when I was little.
Well, I think Pac-Man was the game that actually came along with the system, and that and Combat
Combat.
with
Yeah.
the little pixelated planes and tanks.
Yeah.
You play one player, two player.
Yeah.
Uh, Miss Pac-Man,
Oh yeah.
uh, Night Driver, Barnstorming,
Night Driver. I forgot about that.
Stampede,
Oh, I forgot
Dragster.
about. Oh crap! I have not thought about many of those in many years. Wow.
Yeah,
So we
that's
went from
right.
an Atari up to like a Coleco, and
Hmm.
we played Pitfall. What
Uh,
else did we play? Was it Ladybug or something?
yeah, we
From
played Ladybug. Well, we had Coleco uh, games like Zaxxon, and but the system that we had an expansion port on the right front of
yeah.
the system where you could put an attachment that will let you play Atari games. So we had a whole bunch of Atari games, everything from baseball to Pac-Man to um, E.T., Pitfall,
Oh, I remember ET
and
looked weird. Even weirder on that video game.
you know,
Well, we went like from the
but
Atari to the Coleco. What else did we have after that?
uh, we really didn't have anything after that until we got
The
our Nintendo NES.
yes.
Finally, we're up with all our friends, and
Yeah, we were
it
like the
is,
very last to get our NES.
yeah. Well, out of all of our Christmases that we had growing up, I can only remember really two of them that really stand out. And one of them was the Christmas that you and I had to share the Christmas gift of getting the
Yeah.
Nintendo NES. And
Oh, that was
man,
amazing.
we were happy to do it.
Yeah, and it came like a duck hunt and the what was it, the power pad thing for the Olympics. What was it? You run on it. Came with
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. You had this pad. Two people can run on the pad, and your little avatars on the screen will
yeah.
mimic what you do. Maybe you had to jump hurdles and stuff. And
And you had to time it just right because it wasn't too
yeah.
accurate.
Well, we also found that if we get out on our hands and knees and we actually hit the buttons where on the pad where we're supposed to put our feet, and we just
Oh my God,
drum our
yeah.
fist real fast. I mean, our little avatars and those little legs was just a moving a mile a minute.
Oh
And
my God.
yeah,
That was the best Christmas ever. Remember, you and I woke up the next morning, the day after Christmas, and we were both like dreaming of Mario and Luigi running in our heads. Like it was so weird that you had the
yes,
same dream as me. It's like we played it
yeah,
constantly. Remember, we would like find a game and we would try to beat it on the weekends. And we were talking
hmm
earlier about how like thank God some of our friends had video games because we didn't have any money
that's
growing
right.
up. So we done games off our friends and we would try to beat them usually within that weekend. And I remember
That's right.
one was it Contra? The Contra was one of
Contra.
them. Oh my God.
Yep.
That was a fun
You
one. I
know,
remember that.
I actually went back. I kind of remembered the little code you did with the control pad to get the infinite lives. And
Up, down,
I
A, B,
went
A,
back,
B.
and it was up, down, left, right, A, B, select, start. Wow, the logo of the game was still on the screen, and before the instruction says push start, you got
Right.
to put that code in before push start, and then you get your infinite lives. And
I remember thinking
we
how we were pulling
we
the
rocked that
wool over
game.
people. Yeah, I know. And then like we would borrow Keith's Nintendo Power magazine, and it would sometimes give away secrets. That was the best thing. God, thank God
Oh
we
yeah,
had friends that had stuff that we could borrow.
that's right. Well, and
Yeah.
also we had video rental stores. Back in the day, yes, folks, we had stores where they were renting VHS tapes for movies. You had a movie night, go rent a movie. It was kind of like a red box, but it's actually a place, and
Exactly.
you can rent video games, and
And you
you
had
can
to
rent
hurry
them
and get
for three
there.
days at a time. That's right.
Get there
You
when
had to
they
hurry
first.
up and get there. That's right, and you got to rent the game and have it back by like Monday morning. And so we would spend all weekend just absolutely rocking these games, just trying the to beat them before we had to return them. You know,
Oh, that was so fun though, wasn't
so
it? I tell you, that was video games was such a huge part of our childhood. It was an escape. Oh my God. Thank God for those. I think
yeah.
Jesus just knew that we needed that. He's like, Karyl and Kenny are going to need that.
well,
Help get them through their childhood.
well, that's right because we all know Jesus is a big video game fan. So,
And you guys see
uh,
Kenny smoking outside. I'm smoking in my guest bedroom with the window open. So don't judge me. So shut the hell up. It's my house. Nobody sleeps in here other than
that's
Penny
right.
when she's visiting. Oh, this is Jennifer's room when she stays over, and she'll be here like next week. I'm sorry, Jen. I'll try to make sure it don't smell like smoke when you get here.
She is such a great person.
I
I mean,
know.
I
She
am
is.
so thankful
She's
that you
so
have met her.
fun.
You have such a great person in your life. That is
Yeah,
just
she's
absolutely incredible
awesome. She's so joyful, you know. So other than video games,
and
okay,
gorgeous
high
and gorgeous.
school.
I think
She is
Jennifer is
gorgeous.
gorgeous. So
She is gorgeous.
you know,
She's drop dead. So
that's
growing
right.
up, who was some of your childhood friends? You know that you went to their homes and hung out and.
Um, really, two that of that are still really close friends. A guy named James and a guy named Eric. We were like the Three Musketeers. Uh, I can't imagine my high school years without these two guys. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
gosh, man, when we were not playing video games, we were at each other's houses. We were playing pickup basketball, football games. with the local neighborhood kids, and we there was never a dull moment.
Yeah.
Uh, this was when this is back in the day. Heck, you did not stay inside during the summer. You were not allowed to be inside. I
Yeah,
mean,
our parents wouldn't let us. They'd kick us out.
yep, that's
You could
right.
go.
Kick us out and
We'd
don't come back.
hey,
Don't come back until it's dark. And
you and
even
I
then,
didn't.
we didn't come back when it was dark.
Yeah,
So,
we didn't have any complaints. So thank God we had friends to kind of, because our childhood was kind of, we won't go into detail, but our parents really didn't have the
yeah,
best marriage. So going to our friends' homes was an escape. It was like our
yeah,
sanctuary. And
yeah. And James and Eric were definitely my escape, and
and his parents,
I'm
James's
forever grateful
parents,
for their friendship.
yeah, yeah. That's how I feel about Keith. I wish I'd told her many, many years ago how much it meant for me to be able to go to her home and to be a kid. Her parents let us be kids, be silly, be goofy, be immature. And it was my escape. I
Yeah,
kind of wish I told her about how big of a role that played in my life. It really did. And I have regrets that I kind of let some of my friendships from my childhood slip through my fingers. I'm hoping to
yeah,
mend that because she really did it was just a great escape, and her parents were wonderful. Her mom made the best, still to this day, the best French fries ever. And her dad always cracked the best jokes. That's where I learned the guess what was it? Guess what chicken butt? No, what is it? Guess what? Yeah, chicken butt. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, but it was great going there. It was great going there. So thank God, we had friends, and it's great that you're still really close to your childhood friends. That's
yeah,
amazing. It's amazing.
yeah. They're they are really like brothers to me, and
And James liked going
I
to wrestling too. You and James remember going to wrestling?
oh
That's
well, all three of us we were big
oh,
wrestling
Eric too.
fans.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
oh yeah. We back in the old Smoky Mountain wrestling days with Jim
Me
Cornette,
too.
when they got the
Yeah,
the Bluegrass Brawl, that was like
yeah.
their WrestleMania,
Mhm.
and and it was just the best of times. And I'm I'm almost almost sad that there's a good possibility that those days are long gone.
I
And
know, I know. Who was your favorite wrestler then? Going back to
oh well,
Smoky Mountain, and
well
was it NWA?
NWA and WWF
Yeah.
obviously before they had to change their name to WWE. Um, well, I would have to start with my favorite tag team, which was the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky and Robert,
Woohoo!
and my favorite wrestler. I actually saw him on a pay-per-view, and he was so unique, and he was so different than the American style of wrestling. He was from Japan. His name was Jushin Liger,
Yeah,
and
yeah. I
his
know you love
his
him.
costume, his acrobatics was just so different. It was not not seen in the states, uh,
Right.
and it kind of introduced it. And ever since then, he's been my favorite wrestler. And he's retired now, and he's still with New Japan Wrestling. He does a lot of commentating and everything. And I watched some YouTube videos of of it, So and it's actually you know uh, kind of makes me feel old that all my favorite wrestlers are retired now.
I remember when Chris Jericho was one of your favorites, and you'd get so mad, or in the early days, like at other wrestlers,
Mm,
like he didn't pay his dues, he didn't pay his dues, but Chris Jericho did. And honestly, I didn't really realize the
that's right.
background of some of these wrestlers. Some of them did sleep in their cars and stuff, barely had
Yep.
money to eat, and
Yep.
so I definitely get it now. I just didn't realize it then. But I remember you get so passionate. He didn't pay his dues. And then I think you and I
Right.
both, Mom worked at a motel, and Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson and Nikita Koloff and who else? Who we got to meet him?
I, Ivan Koloff.
Ivan
Uh,
Koloff, yes.
yeah. Yeah. I got to meet Rick and Robert and get autographs from them.
Me too. I
Uh,
remember Mom's like, you can take
which
some ice to their hotel. And I'm like, I mean, the hotel. That's getting fancy. Motel room. I'm like, really? So I went, the little girl in 5th grade with a bucket of ice going to their room, like, hey, hi, I'm a fan. You want some ice? You know? And they were probably creeped out, like, why is this little girl at my door? But they were really nice. They autographed my stuff and everything. And then I saw Nikita
Yeah.
Nikoloff and Ivan Koloff, like, in the office area. But yeah, I was like a huge fan. I remember going to school the next day, like, I get to meet, because it was like so big in our world, you know?
Yeah. Oh
These
yeah.
are like movie
Yeah.
stars in our eyes.
That's right. They were
And
definitely
wrestling was
our
awesome.
celebrities.
Yeah, wrestling was
Yeah.
another escape, you know? And the hell with anybody that would try to tell us it was fake then. Like, no,
Oh yeah.
no,
I mean, we were
no,
really
it's a
into
real
the
deal.
storylines,
Mhm.
and you know, Ricky Morton is known for saying, you know, back when wrestling was real.
Wrestling, yeah, when the wrestling
and
was real.
and Ricky has, you know, when you have a concept that's actually named after you, they used to say Ricky Morton and the Ricky Morton cell. No one ever sold like Ricky Morton. He when he's on the defensive and he's taking a pummeling, he made it look real. He made it look so real that even the wrestlers that he was wrestling would be like, "Hey, are you okay?" Yeah, keep going. You know, uh, you know, anybody who knows anything about wrestling knows who Punky and Hoot is. Punky and Hoot is Rick and Robert from the Rock and Roll Express, and Arn Anderson would be
Midnight
like,
Express.
Punky, you okay? And he was like, yeah, keep going. He was like, man, I thought I really hurt you there. I mean, if you got me that convinced, you know, the people out in the audience were just absolutely eating it up. So,
Yeah,
so wrestling, they had the Ricky Morton cell.
yeah. Man, I love the wrestling then, and me and Jeremy are still a little dorky. We still watch it from time to time. But I think because back in the day, it was the Rock and Roll Express was one of my favorites. Ric Flair. Um,
Were you better off in 2019, or are you better off?
Sorry.
It's okay. Dusty Rhodes, of course. You know, those were like my favorites. Those were my favorites. But now, I guess
Right.
today time, I kind of like New Day. They crack me up. I like any of the wrestlers that are just really funny nowadays. Like, got some character to them. But yeah, we're still
Yeah.
dorky. We still, but on my bucket list, my new thing on my bucket list, well, it's not new. It's been on there for a while. Is go to WrestleMania. I will go to
Yes.
WrestleMania. It will happen.
Yes. Well, it's funny how things have changed with our personalities and how we get older. And
I know.
you know, if you remember, uh, our household was not a sports watching household. Uh, so,
I don't know what you
uh,
would classify it as.
well, I think,
Like it's kind of an
well,
early version of Survivor.
yeah. So, but you know, you grow old, your likes and dislikes change, and the older I got, the more into sports
Sorry.
I got. And I still think sports is one of those
Sports.
things in this country that unites people
Yeah.
because everybody has a team to root for.
Yeah.
And I mean, even if you don't, you still watch the Super Bowl to see what kind of Super Bowl halftime show is going to be. So I think sports is a great thing. It's not only a distraction, but I think it's really meant to bring people together.
Yeah.
And that's
Especially
one
if
of
you
the
even
reasons
watch it.
I really like it.
Especially if you watch it live. You know, the atmosphere's
Yeah.
insane. But who would have thought, like when we were little, because we were Atlanta Braves fans, that we would
Mm.
ever go see Atlanta Braves in real life? Or like Jeremy, you know, he's rented suites there. You know, who would have thought like
Yeah.
we'd have catered suites and that I
Yeah.
wouldn't. If you told me that when I was little, I wouldn't have believed you. Or maybe I would. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know.
And, you know, because that kind of a concept was pretty much unheard of, or
Mhm.
it was so out of the realm of possibility for us.
Mhm.
You know, like going to Disney World or taking
Yes.
cruises. Might as well be going to Mars because the
Exactly.
likelihood of it happening was the same. I
Exactly.
mean, you got a chance
Exactly.
of going to Mars. So,
Exactly. Our kids got it
uh,
good. They have no idea. Or I think they do. You know, I kind of let them know. But grandkids
well,
definitely have it good. It just keeps getting better and better.
well, you know, you and I, we talked before about taking our kids back to Eastern Kentucky and showing them some places where we lived, where I think we are the epitome of the American dream. Not rag the riches, but we are the epitome of the American dream that you can grow up and do anything you want to do and be whatever you want to be and live a really good life.
Right.
So,
Right.
uh, and uh, that's the reason I'm kind of really, uh, thankful for our childhood, uh, being in Eastern Kentucky, all the things that went along with it, because it really makes you appreciate
It
what we
does.
have now. And
Yeah, you never
and
forget your roots.
I'm so thankful for it.
Yeah. And it's like I have no regrets on how we grew up because it took me a long time to come to this conclusion, but because I feel like I can connect with people entirely, of whatever, like rich, poor, whatever. Like I can connect with people on so many different levels. So I guess it just took me a while to kind of be like, our childhood was rough, but hell, look at us now. So, and I think we
Yeah.
give back. We
And
give back. So that's a big part.
well, I think we take a lot of pride. And I mean, Carol, you and Jeremy are really an amazing life story. Uh,
Yeah. Maybe one day I'll write a
I
book
am. Well,
when I'm brave enough.
but it's not like any family. We've had our ups and downs, but I gotta tell
Oh
you, Carol,
yeah.
you have always been there for me. I mean, you were
Same
always my
here.
biggest
Oh
fan,
God.
and I will always appreciate that. Thank you
I
so
feel the
much.
same way about you
And
because we,
I think it's how close we were growing up
yeah,
that has led us to where we're on now. So
we had
I'm
to like
so
entertain each other to kind of take our minds off our home life. Remember, we would like set up obstacle courses in our yard, pretending to be on Double Dare, or for doing
yep,
karate out in the yard, like Karate Kid, and like we were each other's
yeah,
saving grace, honestly. And then that led into
yeah,
our adulthood too, because I remember like when I really started latching on to you, like really, because I remember when you signed up for the Navy, and it just hit
mm,
me. I was like, oh my God, when he leaves, we may never live with each other again. And it just hit me. So I know we started spending a lot more
yeah,
time together. We started going to that restaurant prime time and doing karaoke.
yeah.
Speaking of that,
Oh,
singing to REM, Losing My Religion, Kenny. You are going to have to redo that.
drunk,
You have to do it again.
and doing karaoke. Yeah, that's the great combination.
Yeah. So
And
that's a great
yeah,
segue into like our music. What was your first
mm,
real passionate band, or not passion, but the passion for a band? Like you got to tell everybody
um,
the story about that.
well,
I know
back
you
to
love.
our childhood. Back to our childhood. Um, our parents would only let us listen to music they listened to when they were teenagers or young 20s. And so it was a lot of 50s, 60s rock, some 70s, maybe some country music. Um, it was nothing modern from the 80s. And I mean, that was the devil's music. So, uh, I mean, I kind of get it when you see bands like the Sex Pistols and you see the hair bands like Skid Row, uh, Def Leppard. I mean, I kind of understand where he's coming from, but I had some friends in high school that would make me mix tapes because we were not allowed to have that type of content. And
We'd sneak.
I mean, we get these mixtapes and put them in our little tape players. Remember the Walkmans with the little phony
Yes.
microphones? those
Yes.
cheap earphones, and they were just absolutely
Oh my
awful.
God. Yeah.
and and we'll be in our rooms with the lights off, under the blankets, listening. Hope, hope, mom and dad doesn't hear it. And
It was more
well,
dad, for sure. For
oh yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Mom was a little more
Yeah, mom is,
open to
yeah, definitely.
letting us be kids,
Yeah, yeah,
and
definitely.
I guess that comes to like the movie Great Balls of Fire, which was
Hmm.
Dad took us all because I mean Jerry Lee Lewis was like one of his favorites, right? So and the music that he liked and was listening to was the very same music that preachers and pastors and were then called the devil's
Hmm.
music. And I was about 15, 16, and something just clicked. A light went on. I was just like, you know what? I'm going to have kids. They're going to be listening to something. I'm just going to absolutely just, you know, would not accept. And I just like, this is a generational thing.
Hmm.
And, and I just felt like I've been, you know, sheltered. And I got pretty angry. I made my mind up coming home from that movie that I don't care. I hit my rebellious stage. I didn't care. Went
Yeah.
home, pulled the headphones out of the tape player, pushed the button, turned up the volume.
Yeah.
First song was Guns N' Roses, Right Next Door to Hell,
Guns
and
and Roses.
that's right.
We're wearing our shirts.
And and Dad flipped his lid. I mean,
It was
he
terrible.
he he literally was going to throw me out of the house, and Mom wouldn't let him. So
It was so
that was
bad.
that was that was the breach of
I
that
love
wall,
it.
and after that,
Yeah.
and it all just kind of flowed, and I just didn't care.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, the cool thing is there was some music that Dad actually liked. I mean, if he was still with us today, you asked him
Oh, he'd be
what was his
chill,
favorite Guns
chill
N'
now.
Roses song, he will probably tell you Patience. Because he
Oh.
actually let me play it for
Yeah,
him, and he was like, "That's really
yeah,
good."
yeah.
And I was like, same guys who just sung
Yeah.
Right Next Door to Hell,
I know.
November
Here's,
Rain.
oh my
Oh,
God.
oh yeah, we we actually started watching MTV. Can you imagine in our household watching MTV?
I would watch it in
Holy
my
crap!
room with it turned way down, at
Uh,
VH1 in the mornings getting ready for school.
That's right.
But that's the worst
And
that we ever
and
did, listen to that kind of music. Really, we
yeah,
didn't get into like really big, crazy stuff growing up. We were pretty
well,
good kids.
well, well, our dad, I'd have to say I had mixed feelings about the man. But the fear that we had for him and
Oh, yeah.
kind of borderline with the respect you're supposed to have for your parents uh,
Right.
kept us all out of trouble. None of
Yeah.
us were ever
Oh,
trouble with
no.
alcohol, drugs, the
No.
law. I
Yeah.
mean, even though starting with me, I had always freedom with Eric and James staying out all hours of the night, but we never did anything illegal. And and I credit that to my dad and
Yeah.
uh,
Well,
to our dad. And I'm very very thankful
oh, yeah,
uh,
definitely.
for that.
Definitely. I didn't kiss a boy for the longest time because I was scared of what dad would do. But then Jeremy came along and that just went out of the water. And that's when
Yeah.
I had my first
Well,
drink of anything was with Jeremy. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Got kicked out of school.
Yeah.
Yeah, in school suspension with Jeremy for skipping school with a bunch of friends, and that was all worth it. But you know what? It's
Oh
crazy.
yeah.
You think Dad would have killed us
Absolutely.
over that? But he liked Jeremy so much. When Mom found
Mm,
out I got in trouble for drinking, Dad came
yeah.
to my aid, and I know it
Yes.
was because of Jeremy. He was like,
Yeah.
kids make mistakes. Who would have thought our dad would ever say that? But he liked Jeremy so much. Jeremy could do no wrong. Jeremy was a good guy at the
I
end,
know.
and I mean,
I know.
he did the
And
typical little teenager stuff. That yeah, Dad.
yeah.
Who would have thought Dad would be like,
Well,
yeah, kids are
yeah.
kids.
That's right. And our father was very much uh, a corporal punishment, type of parent that you you messed up, and guess what? You don't
Oh,
get timeout. Timeout meant
no.
he took
No
time out of
counting
his
to
big day
three.
to whip our butts.
Might be one,
And I
two,
mean,
three with a big ass whooping after it, but
yeah. Remember the old leather belt he always
oh
had
shit.
throughout all
Uh,
the years. Man, I'm telling you, man,
hate it.
that was that was a fear factor. Fear is a great motivator. So it
Yeah.
kept us out of trouble. And,
But I remember watching an episode of Roseanne, and in Roseanne, her father kept his leather belt hanging by the front door. And our dad
yeah,
did the same thing. And I remember Roseanne and
yeah,
Jackie talking about how would they explain that to their friends. But luckily, we never had people over, so we didn't have to face that. I didn't have
yeah,
friends come over. I was like, no, not until mom and dad
yeah,
separated. But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, uh, things got
And
easier with that as years went on. But yeah,
yeah,
that I
and
remember you standing up to him over, Guns and Roses and everything. It was pretty badass. You were pretty badass.
well, and mom finally, um, I think she stood behind it and says, again, kids will be kids. Kids make mistakes or whatever, but he's just being a
Right.
kid. Good student, good kid. I mean, if the worst that he does is he listens to a rock band, if that's your biggest worry, then you got no worries at all.
Right.
So, so, um, I mean, I'm really appreciative, you know, to mom for actually encouraging me to listen to the music I want to listen to, like REM.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
And
because mom likes
I'm
music.
telling you, and uh, REM is still to this day my favorite band. With Guns N' Roses, a very, very close second. I think the only reason they're not on top of my favorite band list is um, REM's songs are more uh, in your intellectual. You actually got to think about the song. You got to think about the lyrics. Hell,
Yeah.
you got songs you're like, what the hell? And they're like, and Orange Crush. I mean, even the band members don't
Yeah.
even know what that song means. I'm just,
Yeah.
you know, but Guns
I
N'
still love
Roses, it
that
was
one.
pretty straightforward. It was like we don't give a crap what anybody thinks. This is who we are. This is what we do. If you don't like it, you know,
Screw
take the
you.
bricks. So, so
So, we've been talking about our growing up, how different it was. It was a different world. What was it like when you were shipped off to the Navy? When you went to the Navy, what was it like going from remote Eastern Kentucky to people of different color, cultures, everything? Just being away from
scared.
home.
I was scared. I was 18. I was 18 and scared. I was a scared. I was a scared little kid. I won't lie. I was a scared little kid. Uh, Going to Beckley, West Virginia, where our processing center was, and get on a plane for the first time in my life, flying to
Yeah.
Great Lakes. Uh, I was scared, and not really. It's literally like someone just airdropped me into a totally different country with a totally different language with a totally different culture. I mean, when people tell you, like for instance, when you're that first morning, we've been up all night, and it's 4:30 in the morning. We're all lined up in front of the chow hall waiting for it to open, and the wind is blowing, it's raining, and my little coat didn't have buttons, so you're cold, you're freezing, you're wet. I just
Oh my
remember,
God.
oh my God, what did I do? I was like, then once you get in and you lean on a rail, and someone says, "Get off the bright work." Like
I'm
what?
like, what the?
And or you start leaning against the wall, get off the bulkhead. Uh, then everybody puts all your food, into one compartment, and yeah, it was a culture shock. I must have cried myself to sleep that first week.
Oh
That first
man.
week was,
Yeah.
it was a real culture shock. Made
That's
some really good
rough.
friends, and that was when I learned I had a southern accent.
What
Right?
are you talking about? We don't have an accent. Y'all
Everybody,
do.
that's right. They were like, "Where are you from?" I was like, "I'm from Kentucky." Well, we kind of when you I kind of figured you was from the South, from your accent. I was like, I don't know if we're the South. I mean, I think we were a neutral state. So
We didn't sound
got
like
to meet
it.
all types of people from all different walks of life. You literally got thrown into the world. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it's like. One phrase to explain all of it: thrown into the world.
Jeez, man. Yeah, I remember getting your letters and everything, man. Yeah. But you going to the Navy, it led up to you meeting some amazing people, like the summer of '96.
Mm.
When I went up to Washington State, and we drove across country
Uh,
with $200. Made it to,
$200.
was it Utah or Oregon? We made it on $200
We made
until
it
you
all
got
the way to
paid.
Idaho.
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 Okay, yeah, that's it.
We were getting ready. We were almost ready to cross into Washington State, where I was stationed, and and it um one our mother must have been insane to let us drive across country from little Pikeville, Kentucky, all the way to Oak Harbor, Washington,
Yeah. It was the summer
on
before my
$200.
senior year. And it's the summer before my senior year. I was still in high school, going to a naval base.
Yep. And let
That
me
was
tell
a
you,
great summer, though. That was a great summer of
yeah,
Braveheart. Watching Braveheart 1,000
yeah,
times. Your
yeah,
mixtape we listened to all the way across country, and how in sync we were to the music.
yeah. And you also had a mixtape with some Madonna songs, some other
Oh
songs on it, and
yeah, yes,
uh, uh,
Madonna,
and
Madonna.
and it
My
was,
pug, guys. If you hear snorting, it's my pug.
and it still amazes me that we drove all the way from Eastern Kentucky to Idaho on $200. You kept me alive that 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 3 day process because I mean
You remember when we?
you made that $200 stretch. Man, you made it stretch. I mean, it was just. And when we got to
we
Idaho and we had zero money to our
yeah.
names,
Well, our first
but I
stop
was going to get
was
paid the
in
next when we
Missouri
had.
at Shop and
Yeah.
Save,
Oh,
and you were buying that
yeah.
name brand Vienna sausages. I'm like, put that shit back. We got to get this generic stuff. We got generic Vienna
That's right.
sausages and generic soda. Hey, it fed us though.
Lived on
So
bologna
put that
sandwiches.
shit back. You remember too, like I remember that summer when we went to Taco Bell a lot. But that's when Taco Bell was really, I mean, it's not great, not that expensive now, but it was really, really cheap then, remember? Holy cow, we ate then a
Yeah.
lot. That was awesome.
Yeah.
But we also had like the
And
best parties.
you navigated the
Oh,
whole way.
yeah,
We had
with a paper map.
this is before GPS, folks. We had a road atlas, and Karyl navigated. She plotted out the whole route we were going to take all the way to Oak Harbor, and um, it was. I mean, it was amazing.
It was so fun.
And trust me, and when we finally made our destination, uh, and you got to meet all my friends at a party from my command. Let me tell you, I became the most popular guy in command overnight. They're like Justice, that's your sister? Yeah. Like, oh my gosh. It's like, I mean, all the looks in the family went directly to her.
That was a fun summer, man. That was fun. Like
Mm,
it was definitely the best summer I could
that's
have
right.
spent before I got married. It was summer before I got married. It was so the
Yeah.
parties were just crazy. I mean, the bonfire that they'd have all the time, and that birthday drink that I was introduced to, but I don't think it was nearly as strong as what Dan and you had. But cause didn't you say Dan
Yeah.
was like in stealth mode or something, licking a plate across the
Yeah.
floor?
Yeah. He had the birthday drink and he was crawling on the floor and like nobody can see me. I'm in stealth mode. I mean, uh,
Oh, he was
those are moments in
crazy.
your life that could you imagine your life without memories like that. I can't.
No, because
And
we made a lot. You guys pierced my belly button with medical stuff from the Naval Hospital. Like you used a catheter to
yep,
pierce it. Like at least you
yep.
did use lidocaine to numb me. Yeah, you guys like pierced my belly button. I remember you guys just piercing different body parts on each other.
Oh, well,
It was some
luckily
crazy
at that
stuff.
point in my life, at that point in my life, there were no body piercings.
I gotta say though, going there that summer, it was just so crazy. Remember when we went cliff jumping? Holy cow, it was so high up. Oh my God, that was so
Mm.
fun. We did so much, and you had a kidney stone because it was memorable. You had a kidney stone that, thank God I was there because you were just laid
Had to have
up.
surgery. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you took
Then we
care of
got
me.
pulled over
And
by that hot cop that you were like, she was pretty
that's
hot.
right.
You're like, oh.
Oh, yeah. They're like, you can give me a ticket anytime.
That was so fun.
Well, if you remember, you mentioned the cliff jumping. We
Yeah.
went to on the island. There was this lake that's like in the middle of all these mountains. It was literally like a
Oh my
mountain lake.
God.
And I remember we went to Bellevue because you didn't have a swimsuit. We went to Bellevue to buy you a
I
swimsuit.
still have
Now this
that.
swimsuit, folks.
I
I
still have
mean,
it.
everybody's like, Justice, I can't believe that you let your sister wear that. Just like, I don't care what she wears. I mean,
Oh
she,
God.
but
See,
it
you
was
bought
an
me some
eye
cute
chart.
stuff. Because the eye chart was
It
from
was,
big E down to like.
yeah, all the letters getting smaller, 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 smaller. And it
I
was a
still
one
have
piece
it.
Swimsuit. And
It's probably
yeah,
dry
I was
rotted now, but
take care and Jesus. And
it was no. That was you let me like have so much fun that summer. It was honestly, it was great. We had the best time ever. We really
yeah,
did. We really did. And I just remember after that summer, I just felt a little bit more mature. Just felt
yeah.
like going back to the parties
Well,
at home was not the same. It was like, no, I don't want to go to these high school parties anymore. I was partying with like 25-year-olds, you know?
yeah, that's right. That's right. And well, and also this is my first time I really felt responsible for someone other than myself.
Yeah, you
I
took good
really
care of
felt
me.
so up and
You
and
did.
you know yeah, I think that summer we both grew up a little bit. I'm
Yeah, and it was so sad to
I'm
leave.
so glad you came. I am so glad you came because it was
Man,
an absolute
oh
blast.
my
Yeah.
God.
Mm,
That's
yeah.
something that if I could go back and relive one more time, I'd go back and relive that summer.
Mm,
I'd make some tweaks,
yeah, absolutely.
but yeah. Remember the babysitting we had to do? We won't go into that though, because I think you're still friends with the mother of the children. My dad kill you.
Oh yeah.
You said
My
not if he's in
dad
the middle
killed
of the
you.
ocean. Because he was in what? He was where was he?
He was deployed.
Yeah, in the middle of the ocean, I believe, but he was in the Navy
Yeah.
too. But that was an interesting summer.
Yeah.
That was,
Yeah.
man, I was like, how am I going to make it through the summer watching these kids? I wasn't a kid person anyway. I was just like, but thank God you had a friend you worked with at the hospital who was going to Japan to visit her husband, and she needed a house sitter, and she had
Hmm.
a beautiful house. Oh my God,
Yeah.
gorgeous house.
Well, if you remember when we first got there, we had to hide you in the barracks. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah. I remember the first barracks you were in. It's really cool. You had a common area, and the bedrooms are. Then they
Yeah.
moved you to like a normal barracks. Yeah, I remember you had to hide me. Yeah. Do you remember we went to one party? It might have been after I had that birthday drink, and we were in your little white truck. We were going on base, and I was so sick. I just hang my head out the side door, and I was throwing up as we were driving on the base. I was trying not to. I was afraid of getting you in trouble, but oh my God, I just remember the next day, like you just like tell me drink water, drink water, drink water. But man, that was crazy. That was crazy. Just vomiting going
Yep.
on the base.
It was party time.
party time. I
It
definitely
was
did
party
not
time.
know how to drink then. Here,
Yeah,
Karyl, drink this.
kind of had fun. Oh yeah,
Fun.
I mean,
It was a lot of
yeah,
fun.
it was a blast,
You
and
took good care of me. You're very
uh,
protected.
yeah. Well, and we made some lifelong friends.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
and
It's amazing. It's amazing.
see, and those are things we got to do. Uh, Again, growing up would have been just unheard of. We would
Mhm.
never have been able to do something
If
like
mom
that.
and dad was still together at
And
that point, I would have never been able to go with you that summer. Dad would have been like,
oh
no.
yeah, absolutely,
But dad did help me map out
absolutely.
our route though. So go figure.
Yeah.
I took the map to him. I said, Dad, because he traveled cross country a couple of times, so I wanted him to kind of
Yeah.
map it out for me. But do you remember Justin
Well,
in his memoir, or he was trying to write a book? What if I ever came out?
yeah.
We should ask him because I think
I
now he
don't
works
know.
for
We can.
Nike, which I'm very jealous of. Nike because I really
Yeah.
like Nike. I do.
Uh, well,
The clothes.
folks like Justin, folks like Justin, um,
He was
Mike,
cool.
uh, uh,
Yeah.
Dan,
He was so cool.
and
Dan, yeah.
Ben. Uh,
Oh, Lord, how
you
mercy.
know,
I remember
Ben,
seeing
rest
him
his
for the
soul.
first time. He ran out the hatchet. He was like, ah! I was like, who is this guy? Who's this guy with the hatchet?
Who is this nut job?
That was interesting. It
Yeah.
was Hans. I remember Hans and Becky. Right, Becky? Liz.
Hans and
Liz.
Liz.
Hans and
Yeah.
Liz, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fun summer.
And
That was a really fun summer.
yeah, and Liz was like my direct supervisor. She was um, she took care of me. I mean, she she kept a lot of adverse BS from affecting me, and I tried to emulate that once I got higher up in rank. I was in charge of folks, and I just tried to shield them from all the BS.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when BS always hits, it always does. But when it does, I was always with my guys doing what they
Mhm.
did. So
Yeah.
and
My mama. Sorry, it's
so
mom calling. I forgot to
so
put it on mute. Call her back.
all right. Hey, Mom, we're talking
Sorry,
about
mom.
you.
Sorry, mom. That good. Hey, hey. No, that summer was great. That summer was great. But another part of that summer
Yeah.
that I remember, I'm pretty sure it was that summer. No, it might have been when you came home on a trip that you introduced me to. Okay, this next part is probably going to be a little explicit, guys, because we're getting ready to talk about an awesome comedian that my brother introduced me to. And I went back to listen to his No Cure for Cancer stand up, and it's still just as funny now as it was then. So,
That's right.
Dennis Leary, Kenny introduced me to Dennis Leary. Freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. No Cure for Cancer. Zags on it.
Yeah.
Man, and
Yep.
he did some
Yep.
foreshadowing too in that.
Yeah.
Like meth,
Oh yeah.
like when he's talking about what was it, NyQuil Sudafed, and I was thinking, wait, meth wasn't a big, like meth, like when we got out of high school, it became like a big thing, but I guess this was a thing too before it became a thing. Just like Eastern Kentucky, you get everything a little bit late.
Yeah.
Meth caught on a little bit late. Never did it, guys. Never did it.
Well, he says in his stand-up, we've come to a point where anything you buy over the counter is stronger than what you buy on the street, like NyQuil. Capital N, small Y, big fucking Q.
Yeah.
What a marketing idea! Put a Q on the label. And he says, the warning says may cause drowsiness. It should say, but you better make no fucking plans. Cause you take one drink of that, you're in a coma.
It knocks you out. He was so funny. God, he was so funny. I love like his what was it? His therapy thing that he did. Like he'd tell people for therapy.
Yeah,
His
it's
advice
like
he
the
gave.
therapy. The therapy's the thing to do. The therapy's a big freaking secret, right? You know what? You know what therapy was in our family? We got our ass whooped. Get out there and mow the lawn, for Christ's sake. If the Justice Kid is in therapy again, the lawn looks great. That Dad subscribed to that form of therapy.
Yeah.
So, uh,
I think Magnum does a little
so
bit. A little bit.
a lot, and
Just a little.
uh,
I love it. I
he's
love it.
like,
And it
therapy's a big freaking secret. And it was like a revolutionary new form of therapy by Dr. Dennis Leary. I got clients coming in and say, I just don't feel. I mean, I'm just not happy. I'm just not happy. He just says, shut the f up. Next. All he did was just tell me to shut the f up, and no one's ever told me that before. I feel so much better now. It's like
so
my
funny.
life didn't turn out the way I thought it would. He was like, "Hey, join the freaking club. You know what? I want to be the starting center fielder for the Boston Red Sox. Life sucks. Get a helmet." You know? Yeah.
And I tell you, seeing
Yeah.
him his stand up on YouTube, it's the first time I ever seen him visually doing that. No Cure for Cancer stand up. I always heard it, on audio. But actually seeing him
Yeah.
enjoy his cigarette so much. Because all you hear on the podcast is like, he'll enjoy
Yep.
it. Yeah.
The filter's the best part. That's where to keep the heroin. Only real good smokers know that secret.
Did he also say,
He was like,
go ahead.
he's like red meat and cigarettes. I only eat raw red meat. I only eat raw red meat from special cows who smoke.
And I love it when he was talking about how people are like, people say that, smoking will take 10 years off your life. And he's like, isn't it the worst 10 years of your life is when you're in a wheelchair and you're in a diaper?
Who wants those years? You can have those years. Those are adult diaper years. Those are wheelchair adult diaper years. and your college educated born again Christian son comes over and says, "Hey, be sure to wipe this time. I was itching all week last week."
That's okay. I'm going to live to be 120 anyway, so 110 is not so bad. As long as I'm still kicking it pretty good.
Hey,
if I'm not kicking
if we can keep up the trend like our grandpa died at 95, outlived 2 wives, and had a nice young girlfriend of 80.
Yeah, he had a living girlfriend.
Live-in girlfriend.
I love it. He was a player.
So how you want to die? I want to be 95, outlive 2 wives, nice young girlfriend of 80, a belly full of wine.
Belly full of wine. Oh my god. Do you remember holy shit? You talk about Grandpa and John and everything. Grandpa being a little playa in the end. But he was a pimp at John and Aunt and Uncle John and Robin hosted a pimp and hose party and had pictures of Grandpa dressed up like a pimp. It was hilarious. But now John and Robin, man, I need to go to one of their parties because all I've heard is just really awesome stories. I'm like, holy hell, I need to go to one someday. I really still hope they're hosting. But remember when we went up to Washington, I think it was 16, yeah. And Robin had an itinerary. So she said if she's going to take us, taste some wine. And I'm just thinking, we should go to a couple of wineries, like we've done before. She had an itinerary of all these different wineries we were going to go to. And each winery we went to wasn't just going in and taking a sip. I think she was in a club at each one of these. So we had a private room and all kinds of stuff, and we tasted tons of wine.
Yeah.
And here I wasn't sure, I was just drinking everything they were giving me. They were giving you as much as you wanted to taste. And I was just drinking one after the other after the other. And I'm seeing John laughing and everybody having a good time, holding their own. I'm already starting to feel like, whoa, how are they doing this? I am already feeling weird. It's like the end of the first winery, But then we get to the last winery, and I remember we were sitting at table, and I was feeling really good. We had sangria, And I talk with my hands when I get really happy or, tipsy. And I knocked my wine glass over. It shattered everywhere. I was mortified. Then we get into John and
Yeah.
Robin's new Jag that they just got. They just got it. They got it on the red carpet. It was a big reveal. I remember her telling us about it. And I was feeling sick. And so every time we left the winery, Robin would have us some gifts in the car, whether it be bottles of wine or, just, I remember she bought me a cute little sports shirt. Great host and hostess. I'm telling you, they're awesome. Well, I was feeling weird in their car. And Kitty, what did you see me do? What did you see me do?
Well, you had a gift bag, and you slowly take out all the items out of the gift bag. Then all of a sudden, I'm talking to John and Robin. They're in the front seats, and and I see what's going on. I was like, okay, I got to keep their attention, okay. And Carol slowly puts her mouth to that gift bag, and so quietly,
Yeah, I was like,
I mean,
so
she was
quiet.
so quiet. I mean, a church mouse would have been envious. And then she just folds it up,
hoping it's not going to leak on the
sets
bottom.
it down in the floor.
But you know what? I was probably quiet, but it never dawned on me. It probably smelled really bad. It didn't dawn on me then.
Well, the thing is, that was one of the things I was kind of okay, I don't smell anything. I mean, she was so good. She had it contained.
Oh my God!
I'm telling you. I mean, she should apply, to be a chemical biological cleanup crew because she contained that so well. I mean, you were awesome.
Well, then I thought I was so
awesome.
slick. We had to stop by our Aunt Sandy and Uncle John's house to get our stuff to go for the Robin and John's. And here I thought I was so slick that he had thrown up in her car. I got out, got our stuff, and then when I was walking back out to get in the car, I noticed on my blouse I had vomit down the front of it. So it was like my bib that caught the excess. And I thought I was sitting here. Everybody saw it. Nobody said anything. I was so mortified. I don't know what they must have been thinking about me. They're probably like, oh, she's feeling really good. Like, look at her shirt. But then the next morning, Robin, we woke up to the smell of gravy and biscuits and everything. The best hangover breakfast we could have had, man. And Robin's from West Virginia originally. She's a small town girl too, you're talking about writing a book. She's got a really awesome life story. The way she met John, going to the Space Needle for dinner, and just that's something that could be a movie. That could be a movie.
Yeah.
But that was awesome though. I mean, that was just fun. That was just so fun.
Having a nice, good country breakfast in Seattle, Washington. Biscuits and gravy, bacon, I mean, everything you need to get over a hangover.
And it's good biscuits and gravy because she's from West Virginia. I'm talking. I'm particular about biscuits and gravy. Mom makes it very good. Rose makes it great. Robin's really good. Carrie, from what I've heard, Magnum's wife, biscuits and gravy, she's supposed to make it really, really good.
Carrie's good. And now, my biscuits, I kind of took her little recipe. I kind of added my own little couple of things to it. Now, I gotta tell you, when it comes to biscuits, I'm the bomb. Everybody loves my biscuits. I mean, when I had the girls, the weekends I had the girls, and Abby's always, Dad, you gonna make biscuits? Yes, baby, I'll make biscuits.
Oh.
And Aria, man, biscuits and jelly. There is nothing else better she likes in the world than biscuits and jelly.
I love that. See, best biscuits and gravy from Virginia, West Virginia, Kentucky.
Yeah, being a single dad, you adapt.
Oh, you've always been awesome, Dad. How about pictures of you fixing Abby's hair when she was little?
Oh, well, not so much now because she's 15 and
Yeah, she's a big
she
girl
was
now.
and,
She's a big
yeah, no,
girl.
Dad, I don't need to do that. But Aria, man, um, she still lets me braid her hair, and put it up, and
If somebody wanted to
she
braid my hair every day, I'd
she's a
let
lot
him.
sassier. She's a lot sassier, but but
You got amazing
just so
girls.
full of life. So,
Yeah, they're
so full, I mean,
amazing.
both my girls are just absolutely amazing girls, and
They are
I'm fortunate.
amazing.
I
Amazing.
mean, I've always said, there's only one thing. I may be good at a lot of things, but the only thing I'm really great at is being a dad. That is the only thing
You are,
that
and a
I'm great
brother.
at.
You're a great brother too, and son.
Oh, thank you, sis.
A lot of things.
You're an awesome sister. You're a great sister. You're like if there was a hierarchy of
uh,
siblings,
I'm
you're
improving over the years.
you're on a pinnacle.
I'm improving.
You
You know, I'm improving. But I was going to mention this because we didn't mention this before. But do you remember when we wanted to try to recreate Mike's party? And you came home one weekend or for leave, not one weekend, it was leave.
yeah
And we're like, oh, let's go get
yeah
a
it didn't work out.
keg and invite people. You know, we can recreate that entire thing. Oh man, it was a flop. It was a flop. It was a flop.
Yep.
Remember the
We had the
cops got
cops called
called
on
too?
us.
Yeah, people were fighting in the front yard. And I remember, like, I was
Yeah.
out the back door throwing up, and then I saw James come over my shoulder. He was throwing up. I was out, man.
No,
I was like,
I'm
after that, I was
behind
like,
you.
was
I'm
it you?
holding
Oh,
your hair out of your face. While you're throwing up out the back door, and here comes James over my shoulder, over your shoulder.
yeah. So gross.
And
Oh, God.
that boy can put away beer, man. That guy can put away beer like it's nobody's business. And we had a keg. We
Man.
had a lot. We had a lot.
Yeah. Oh, my God. It was crazy. And there's people that showed up we didn't even know. We invited some people, and they invited people, and he
Yeah.
invited people. It was like in
Yeah.
a movie. It
And
was crazy. I can't believe Mom let us do that, but you were her
Mom was
golden
okay with it,
child because of you.
but
You.
I remember Dad calling, and he was just like, I didn't raise your kids to do things like this. Like, yeah, Dad, you're right, but it is what it is.
I
Uh,
know. He was probably our age at that
and
time. Isn't that freaky when you think about it?
yeah,
That's freaky. Because I think I was
well,
uptight sometimes as a parent, and I look back on things, I'm like, why was I so uptight? I could have loosened up a little bit, but hey, my kids didn't ever get in any trouble, so they got in less trouble than I did. So I
yeah,
didn't get in a lot of trouble. I just got in mischief with my boyfriend.
yeah. Well,
Oh, and then
and
Seattle with you. So
it was, and I attribute all that to my experiences in the Navy, and uh, you know, and just being able to come back home when I did come
mhm.
home, and we connect, with you and and friends, and just have a good time. I mean,
Yeah.
and the thing is, even when the cops were called, I mean, they were just
I
like,
think I
keep
was
down, you
sleeping.
want to have a good time. I mean, I remember I talked to the state trooper, and I was like,
Oh, I
wow,
was
home on
out.
leave, just I'm sorry we're loud. I mean, I'll keep it down. And he was very understanding. He was like, listen, um,
It was just
you don't get to
drinking.
come home that often. And and I remember him saying, is there any underage drinking going on? I was like, no, sir.
Oh no, I think I was
Even though
awake. I remember that.
there was a ton of it.
I think everybody there was underage other than you and who else was there? Dan wasn't there, was he?
James,
James, yeah, yeah.
Jeremy,
No, Jeremy
uh,
wasn't there. Was Jeremy
he
there?
was at one of them. He was at one of them.
Okay, probably not that one. Oh my God,
I
who
mean,
knows though? Who knows?
do you
Shoot.
remember I bought you a shot glass collection, and I went and bought a bottle of aftershock,
Oh
and that
God.
was your favorite. And
And
you
I was
poured
that was my birthday. That was for my
aftershock
birthday.
to every one of those shot glasses, and she was like, "Okay, time me," and she went clang, clang, clang,
That was for my
clang,
birthday.
clang.
Dan, I think Dan was
Yeah,
there. Jeremy came home that weekend.
Jeremy was
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was already drunk within the first 15 minutes of my party. I definitely was
Yep.
a terrible drinker.
Yep.
But I do have a, I
And
do have a, go ahead,
and well, and also,
terrible drinker.
Jeremy and I knew each other from high school, and it was really good, to get to really know him outside of school and get really to know him as
Yeah,
as
he's a
the
good guy.
future brother-in-law. And
No,
Jeremy's a great guy. I mean, uh, I don't know who's luckier, you or him. I mean,
no, no,
obviously it's him. I mean,
no. I
but
still don't know what I've ever done to deserve him, that's for sure. But I'll take it. I do have
yeah,
a
I
special
mean,
guest,
oh,
that went across country with us to Washington. There and back, the one and only Simba.
Simba.
You put him behind your back in the truck because your back would hurt so bad after driving for so long.
Yeah,
Simba has
that
been
old, that
everywhere
old,
with me.
that old crappy bench seat and that little Toyota pickup, and I put Simba behind my back. Thank you, Simba.
Thank you,
I'll
Simba.
never forget you.
Oh my God, Simba's been everywhere with me. He's traveled he's been on cruises with me. This is the first thing
Mm,
Jeremy's ever given me. He gave it to me when we had our first kiss. And
yeah.
Jeremy and I was talking one night. This is the oldest thing we own. Out of everything in this house, everything. We try to go back. This is the oldest thing that we own together with Simba.
Well, you know, uh,
Go
Carol,
ahead.
it was just a weekend ago. Uh, I was showing Abigail. I still have shoe boxes of cards, photographs, that they were sent to me since I left home from boot camp on to
Oh,
now. And I was showing I was showing Abby a card
no,
that
Lou.
you wrote me before you left. Uh, before you left Oak Harbor for that summer to fly back
Oh
home.
my
Actually, you were
God.
flying to New York and
Oh, I want
somewhere
to
to meet
see
up with Jeremy.
that.
And
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. I believe in New York.
and and
God, I want
I
to
don't
see
know.
that.
I guess I'm kind of sentimental that way. I keep things like that, letters from old girlfriends or whatever.
Yeah, I have
And
every letter that Jeremy's
and
ever
I was
written
like,
me, and vice versa. I got all the letters I've ever written him. I got them all, every one, from high school, boot camp,
yeah,
everything.
yeah. And I've always just imagined, like when I pass, my girls are going to go through my stuff. They're going to find these things and read through them. And just like, oh my gosh, my dad, our dad, was so interesting, whatever. But, they're probably going to look at the
I
shoe
love
boxes and
that.
like, trash.
That's so cute because if I pass away, my kids find our stuff, they're going to think mom and dad was the biggest perverts ever. I think he probably burned mine before. We got some really interesting letters. We used to write stories to each other. And
Well,
the minded teenagers and really young folk.
well,
My
I
diary
just,
definitely
I
need to be
just,
burned.
I just remembered, my life, my life expanded to horizons that I thought would never possible.
I know.
And
Me too. I never
and
take one day for granted, do you? Not one day. I don't take one
not
day
one
for
day,
granted. Never. Yeah.
yeah,
And it's just
and
even just our families. Think about it, our kids and stuff. It's just amazing.
sure, sure. I mean, you know, um, you do a lot of self-reflecting.
Mhm.
I sound like an old man here.
Oh man.
And and you know, just having kids of your own and having a 15-year-old who's getting ready. She's blossomed
Oh,
into
she's
this
gorgeous.
beautiful young girl
Long
who
red
is just
hair. Ooh.
absolutely. You want to talk about ambition? This girl's got ambition.
She's
She
gonna.
tells me,
I'm
Dad,
excited to see what she's gonna do.
yeah, she said, Dad, you're gonna wake up one day and I'm your governor.
I think I'm thinking bigger than that
Uh,
because
yeah,
she's so much into politics, and I wouldn't doubt
history.
she's the first
Right.
female president. No joke. My
Well,
money's on her.
I well, Well, she is. Stand by because it's going to be like nothing you've ever seen before.
You know what, Kenny, though? Like, here, who would have thought, okay, oh my God, going from where we went from to where we are now, it is not unimaginable for Abigail to go from where she's at, which is a nice life, to
Mm.
possibly being president one day. There is no, like,
The
I
sky's the
don't,
limit.
yeah, the sky's the limit. There's no limitations. We should not ever put limitations on each other. Encourage our kids, like,
Yeah.
in Abigail's, an Abigail situation, you know, how some kids, can I be president one day? No, you're so stupid. Move on. Yeah, Abigail, though, not that case. She's very brilliant. She's very brilliant. She's
Yeah.
beyond her. Oh my gosh, she's very wise and she's
She's
amazing.
wise
I can
beyond
see her.
I
Yeah,
could tell you.
that you do need to nurture her.
Carol, she is smarter and wiser at 15 than I was at 25, maybe even at 30. And
Mine was,
and all that is a compliment to her.
yeah,
I mean,
well, she's amazing. I
and
learn something from her every time I talk to her. I'm like, well, I didn't know that.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I'd love to go to
And the
DC
thing
with
is,
her.
and and the thing is, the upbringing, that we provided her between her mother and I, um, you know, she she has all the ambition and the opportunities to do something really great.
Yeah.
And Aria, my little 4-year-old, even though she's just 4, and she's just runs through the house. I mean,
She's so fun.
she's got enough personality for 3 people, and she is whatever she does, you just know she's going to be really, really great at it. I
Well,
mean, I hope they are.
I wouldn't put it past Aria to be like the next huge comedian someday because she's got such a sense of humor. But the first joke she
Yeah.
ever told me, she's like, "Why did the chicken cross the road?" And I said, "I don't know why." She went, "Because," and she's she's only like 4 years old. It's like, what? This is the best joke ever for a 4 year. She told it so well too. She's so funny. Oh my god,
Well,
Aria is. I mean, Aria in anybody's life makes it better. And I knew Jeremy would fall in love with her when he met her, and he did. It was just instant.
Yeah. Aria, and, even now when you give these little tasks to perform, she was like, okay, wait, Dad. She's like, wait, Dad, just calm down, be patient.
Patient,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Getting ready.
And I do think if you was to ask Abigail, what she likes best about her dad, she would tell you that we had the best conversations and the music.
Oh yeah,
She
music.
loves my music, and that drives her mom crazy, which is kind of the cherry on top. and drives her mom crazy, but she loves. Oh man, I introduced her to crash test dummies, and she is absolutely.
Is it that? Is that something else?
That's it. And
Once there was this kid got into an accident and couldn't come to school. Sorry.
That's right. Well, there's a song that they have called "Afternoons and Teaspoons," and so when I take Aria to school in the morning, she was like, "Dad, turn on the pajama song," and basically he talked about, one day I'll have a disappearing hairline. Talking about getting older. One day I'll be wearing pajamas in the daytime, and yes.
And that's when you know you're living the life. Either living the life or you're homeless.
I'm wearing pajamas in the daytime, so
it.
I guess I've reached that pinnacle. I'm officially old now. So
Well, I'm home every day I get off work at noon, 3 days a week. So I think I'm living a good life too.
Yeah. Well,
My baby.
And I think that's another reflection upon your life story, sis, because You know how Barbie's had like
Ugh.
235 different careers?
Yeah.
Man, you blew her out of the water. I
Yeah. I've
mean,
had at least like
the things you've gotten to do.
461.
Yeah, I mean, and all of that makes you who you are, and you're just an amazing person. And I
Well,
I
I
mean,
can.
I am blessed that you are in my life, and thank you, thank you,
Oh,
thank you, thank you, thank you so
I
much.
feel the same way, man. But if anybody ever needs pictures taken, you need your dog groomed, you need a mental evaluation. Oh my God, I can do all kinds of stuff. I'm certified in a whole lot of stuff. No, Kenny, I am so like thankful that you're in my life. God, it's just been wonderful, and I think the older we get, the better it's going to get. It's just going to get
Yeah.
better and better and better and better.
Well,
You
could you
know,
imagine when we're in our 60s and we're retired and
I'm
we
gonna be
just don't give a
awesome.
crap about anything? Oh, could you imagine
I'm gonna
how
be
off the hook it's
awesome.
going to be?
Have you on Instagram? There's these people that you can follow. These old people. It's like I think it's like called retirement house or something, and they're
Hmm.
living it up. That's
Yeah.
me. That's kind of almost like some of my neighbors right now. Like they're retired, and my God, they're living their best life.
Yeah.
I'm not too far
Well,
behind them.
when I was in Sandestin, I went to
Oh
the
yeah,
I went to the beach house,
yes.
and there's these
Go to the
two older
beach
women.
house.
Both their husbands have passed, and their roommates. They're like literally like Laverne and Shirley.
Oh my God.
I mean, and these two ladies were just absolutely amazing, and they lived there. They lived there. Can you imagine? Oh my
I
gosh.
never want to
Mm,
leave. I never want to leave.
mm,
FYI, if you want to go to Sandestin and you need an Airbnb, hit me up. I got a place for you.
that's right. That's right. And
I'll give
it's a
you a
great
discount.
Airbnb. Oh man. I mean, you're right there in the middle of everything. It's literally like you're on the second deck of a building during Mardi Gras.
Right across from
It
Fat
is
Tuesdays. A great place to people watch.
right. That's right. And riptides and oh
So
my
you
gosh,
can, and you ran into those ladies a few times, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
You ran into those ladies a few times in Destin, didn't you?
Yes, actually, a couple of times I ran into them, and they're just the nicest. They were just the nicest people, and I mean, they were literally like if you can think of Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon, grumpy old men. I mean, they're like grumpy old women who are best friends, and they were they
Yes.
were like, oh, they're like,
Yes.
you drink too much. Oh, bitch, you drink more than I
Oh my God.
do.
I
I mean,
love it.
oh my gosh, and it was
I love it.
it
But
it was amazing.
but your cruise
So
too. You cruise. You met a really incredible lady. Did you guys like exchange numbers?
no, uh, um, there
Because
was a
she
group
seems
of
cool.
folks. There's a group of folks that was on our cruise. Um, the only thing, though, from all over the country, the only thing they have in common is they were born on leap year. So February 29th, they only have a birthday every 4 years. So she was like 60, but she was like, I'm only 15 because I've only had four birthdays. And so,
You're hanging out with an
she
underage
was,
child.
yeah,
You're breaking the law. But it's
she was,
maritime. But you're in the sea, so it's probably maritime law. So you're probably not breaking the law hanging out with a
mhm.
15-year-old. I'm
Well,
sorry.
well, uh, she would hang out with me on the smoking deck, and I smoked my cigars, and she smoked her cigarettes, and she just partied and partied. She was the sweetest person. Uh, I hope I am as young, as energetic as she was at 60.
I'm going to be.
And
You don't hope. You,
oh,
you, you manifest it. It's going to happen. I believe in that.
yeah, and that's something our brother um, and I've talked about is I have never known you to not look like $1 million. Even when you go work out,
You
even when
haven't
you
seen me
go to
first thing
work
in the
out,
morning.
you look like $1 million.
Oh God, no. I only
And
post pictures of me working out if I have makeup on. No, I'm joking. There's a few
well,
that's not, but
Well, and the thing is, have you ever known our mother to not look like $1,000,000?
Mom has never left the house ever in her life without her hair and makeup done. And that's just how I was raised.
Absolutely.
It's very, very rare that I leave without my hair and makeup done. Very rare. And if I do, I'm wearing sunglasses and a baseball hat. So, but
Yeah.
I really do think it makes a difference. If you carry yourself well, if you look good, you feel good. 'Cause, we're at
Yeah.
the airport, and there's a couple guys that work, men, grown men, older men. Um, Very nice. But every day they like to see me in my dress and high heels. So I think I'm the only one that wears dresses and high heels to work, and that's okay.
Right.
It's okay. I think it's fine if you wear athleisure wear, which I'm not allowed. So I'm like, if I can't wear athleisure wear or jeans, I either have jeans and athleisure wear or heels and dresses. I don't have any in between. So,
Yeah.
and today he was like, "Hey, Miss Hollywood." But they're just the sweetest people. But he's like, you need to keep dressing the way you are, smiling the way you are, because it really does make everybody's day better. I'm like, really? I was like, okay, I'll keep doing it, man.
Well, what the thing is, one of the things about your personality is you're a fun person. I cannot think of one time that you and I have ever hung out and
Oh, having fun.
and I did not leave feeling like a better person.
That's my goal. I always want everybody to have fun. I want to have
Yeah.
fun. That's my motto in life. I want everybody else to have fun. I don't care who I meet, where I go. I'm nice to everybody. Ask everybody how they're doing. I don't care if you're a gas station attendant or what, but I really take the time
Yeah.
to acknowledge you. Because I like that when people.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of like it when people do it to me, but not really. I don't like a lot of attention, but
Yeah.
I do like it when people are nice to me. I love that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I think a smile is the best thing you can wear. That's why I told that one guy today. I probably heard that from somewhere, but I smile all the time. Probably why I'm aging quickly because I smile a lot.
Well, I think if anything, sis, you are definitely a Christy Brinkley of our family. I think
Christy Brinkley.
you are going to you're going to
Love
you're
her.
never going to age. I mean, Christy Brinkley is absolutely
She's
amazing,
gorgeous. She's
amazingly
gorgeous.
beautiful, and I absolutely see you being
I don't
exactly
know.
like that.
I don't think she does
So,
cigars in this though. she's got her
well,
wine that is like 0 calories and everything. It's just delicious, delicious. Christy Brinkley's wine is delicious. I've not had it in a couple of years, but when it came out, I was so excited because I was super weight conscious. Now I'm not,
yeah.
it's
Well,
hard to be weight conscious when you like to drink bourbon, though. But
well, I think there's been instances where uh, uh, people when they grow old gracefully, and they grow old uh, and happy with themselves.
oh, I'm not going
And
to age gracefully. I'll
you're
get nipped and tucked
gonna
and
fight the whole way,
tucked.
huh?
You better believe it. Like if I start seeing what was Dolly Parton sagging and all that, I'm getting it taken care of. I mean, I don't want to look weird. Just a minor thing.
Well,
I had nothing against
well,
Botox and all that, but
I I think
no.
I I, I think like for me, um, I want to accept the
Oh
stage
no,
of
you
life
look
I'm in,
great. No, you look great.
and
Dang.
I want to be
I
like
ain't
a
seen any
guy
wrinkles.
on Facebook. I want to be like a guy on Facebook, the dad bod veteran. I want to be that guy.
You
I
look
just
really
want to be.
good. Very, very
Well,
handsome. Very handsome.
I mean, it was something. I was saying I need to get back in the gym. I need to lose this dad bod, and you were like, no, 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 no. The dad bod is in. The dad
It
bod is
is.
what you want.
I'm being counterproductive because
Okay.
here I'm doing a diet bet game. I invited you to it, and I'm telling you not to worry about a dad bod.
Uh,
Jeremy joined it. Jeremy joined it.
well, 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 I'm just trying to fit into this period of life, smoking a pipe, and
Yeah.
and the
See,
thing is, the cool thing about this is because you got me really into the cigars, into the bourbon,
I know. I'm
but I've already
sorry.
been into the pipes, and
I
it's a
need to try
hobby.
your
I mean, it's
pipe.
not a habit; it's a hobby.
I want to try
And
your pipe. I've never tried a pipe.
uh,
I want to try it.
well, all I gotta say is I really enjoyed it. I mean, I remember when I first started smoking a pipe. I remember we had older family members that smoked pipes. I just remember the smell,
The smell's
and
incredible.
I didn't know how to I
Yes.
didn't know how to smoke a pipe. So I started watching these YouTube videos about these older guys smoking pipes, and they're talking about when you're smoking a pipe, it's an opportunity for you to reflect on life, how you can be a better man, be a better husband, be a better father. I was like, well, I wasn't looking for an introspectual, intellectual experience or anything. I just wanted to learn how to smoke a pipe.
Exactly. Well, Jeremy's dad, he smokes a pipe every winter.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, he's smoking it right now, and I just love the smell of it. I love the smell of a pipe. I would definitely like give it a
Yeah.
go. I would. I
And
would.
Jeremy's dad, smoked a pipe as well, and I think it's it, it, it's a hobby that's a common point of interest,
Yeah.
and
Well, that's what I think about
what kind of pipe
cigars.
it is.
Yeah, that's what I think about cigars
Yeah,
too, and bourbon and things like that. I think it's just, you know, I
yeah.
don't drink it just
Well,
to drink it, and I don't smoke it just to smoke it. I really, truly, truly do enjoy them.
yeah. Well, if you remember growing up, our parents smoked cigarettes, and I
Your
remember
mom,
that.
mom used to hide and smoke hers.
Oh yeah,
When dad
I
quit,
remember
mom would always
Dad.
go to the neighbors and sneak and smoke.
Yeah, well, and there was a period of time when Dad would smoke. I remember Dad will be holding a cigarette, and he would look at us and says, "I don't ever want to see you guys doing
I know.
this."
He always said, "Don't do as I do, do as I say." And you're like, what?
That's right. That's right.
What? That's
And
why, like, when my
and
kids were young, me and Jeremy barely drank. Definitely didn't smoke. We would probably drink maybe a little on a New Year's and Super Bowl Sunday, like twice a year, but we very rarely drank. So that's why I think we're just
yeah,
making up for lost time because we did everything so early in life, having kids, getting married. Now it's like we're just having a great time. I don't judge
well,
me. Don't judge me. I'm having a good time.
Carol, that kind of brings me to a question I'd like to ask you.
Oh
Uh,
my God.
I
Ask
was single
away.
all the way through my 20s, and I had a lot of good time. I mean, I had a great time.
I know
I had a
you
great time
did.
for me, you, and you, and you, and you.
Yeah, I
I
know.
mean,
I remember some of your good times in your car that you had. That car that you had the dock license plate on it and all that. And I
mhm.
remember some stories you told me.
If you had to do over, would you have rather had been free and to do things in your 20s, or would you rather do it now?
For me, definitely how everything played out was the best way it could have played out. Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely,
because
yeah.
now me, I'm in my late 40s, with a 15-year-old and a 4-year-old, whereas now your kids are grown. You're out of the house. I mean, you're empty nesters, and you get to have this great time just you and Jeremy, and and I have great memories.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
uh,
no, I think they're great.
I,
The thing is, though, like Jeremy and I, we've had our issues, and if Jeremy wasn't such a wonderful person, my life wouldn't probably be as happy as it is right now. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I could have had major regrets. Like maybe I shouldn't have got married so young because we got married so young. Like what? So when I met him when I was 16, I got married to him when I was like 19. You're not the same
yeah,
person at 19 as you are at 30, 35, or 40. you know. I really think it just depends on the situation. And I think your life's amazing. I mean, you got two beautiful children. I mean, you got some really great
Yeah.
memories. You know, you just keep making new chapters in your life. You're on to the next chapter of your life. You know, who knows what it's going to
Yeah.
be? You know, it's going to
Well,
be amazing no matter
as long
what. Because you're
as
very
long as
you're very self-sufficient. You don't have to rely on anybody. There's no hurry to do anything.
well,
You know, have
as long as the
fun.
next chapter is involve cigars, pipes, and bourbon.
Yeah. And don't date anybody that wants to change you. I can't
Mhm.
stand, did I say this before in a podcast? Probably. I can't stand a nagging person, whether it be a husband or a wife. That I hate listening to, especially like wives, like nag their husband, don't do this, don't do that. Don't want you to have a motorcycle. Stop smoking. Shut up, bitch. Get in the kitchen and make me a sandwich. That's what you need to tell. I'm joking. I'm joking. But you know what? Like, don't keep people from being who they are. You know, like if it's just smoking and that's not going to hurt anybody. Just let them be who they are. If you're hurting other people,
Yeah.
that's a separate thing. It's a separate thing. But no, I don't know, Kenny. I think there's some things I would have changed in my life. I think, but maybe not. Because if I didn't go through the downs, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at right now. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, things probably wouldn't have
Yeah.
changed. I'd
And
probably be stuck, or who knows? You know,
well,
I just try to live my best life every
well,
day. Damn.
well, you know, I do a lot of introspection when I think about my life,
Oh, don't do that too much.
and uh, and uh, and I've really gotten to the point in my life when I'm on my deathbed. I don't want to say I wish I would have done this. I want to do it.
Right. Exactly. I agree.
And
I agree. I'm the same
and
way.
uh,
I'm the
and
same way.
hopefully,
But
I want my girls to be successful, and I hope they grow up to be well-adjusted people. But this is funny. I want them to be successful because the more money they make, better nursing home I get for them. Hopefully, I
oh
get a nice
hell,
young nurse with big hoops.
I don't doubt that my kids would take care of me. But just in case, I have a backup plan and it's already planned out and taken care of. So just in case, you never know. I could
Yeah,
be a very crotchety old bitch of a old woman. They hard to take care of. They might have to put me somewhere, but it won't be them
yeah.
put me somewhere. I already have a backup plan, so it's all good. I'll be somebody else's problem. So I'll be like,
Well, again, I
my
want
hair's
to die.
wild.
I want to die at home at 95, 96, 97. I live two wives and got a nice
Okay.
young living girlfriend.
See, I have the same aspirations. It can happen. We can manifest it to happen for sure. I'm excited to see how the next 40 some years go. Because the first 40 some
Yeah.
years was a trip. My God. I really do hope someday to
Well,
write a book, but
that kind of reminds me of a Tim McGraw song. He talks about his first 30 years.
oh my
You
God.
know, his next 30 years, he want to drink a little more iced tea and not so many beers. So maybe he'll remember his next 30 years. And
Yeah, at
and
least I do remember my first 30 years. My first 40.
well,
I'm part of my
I have
40s.
to
No, I'm
say,
joking. No.
I have to say, with all the ups and downs and all the successes and all the failures, professionally, personally, uh, I'm I'm glad I am where I am, and
Me too. And we
I have
cannot
great people
forget,
like you.
right? And we can't forget where we come from. There's no embarrassment where we came from, how we were. It's just, it is what it is. And we just, to me, it made us more well-rounded people. We can relate to so many
Yeah.
people. So I'm not embarrassed. I was for a long time, and
No,
then I was
not
like,
at all.
why? Like, why? Hell, Chris
Yeah.
Stapleton. And other people, they're not. Tyler Childers writing a song, Virgie, like
Well,
they're not ashamed of where they're from. Like they embrace it, and then
well, you know,
whatever
that
good things we have happen to us, we just pass it on. We help other people with it. So.
you know, there's one guy that I was recently introduced to that uh, has truly become a really, really good person, and has gone through a lot of downs in his life, and but the singer Jelly Roll,
Oh my gosh,
that guy,
I like him
I
a
admire that
lot.
guy so much.
I do too. I do too. I do
And
too. And his music,
it,
wow, I love his music. Daggone.
it's folks like that really show you that um, no matter I mean that no matter how down you are, you can always there's
Yeah,
always room for redemption,
yeah.
and
You know,
thank God for it.
absolutely, absolutely. Showing grace. I'm so glad that some people in my life have showed me grace. You being one. You know, I was not always the best sister, and you know, so showing grace to others is so important. So I was also going to mention too,
Well,
like, you know, me and Jeremy, like we give every year to every, you know, to people, but I would like for you and I, it don't have to be, you know, money or whatever, but physically, like going and like helping out in Eastern Kentucky to think about young Kenny, young Karyl, where we were. Think about it.
mm,
And these poor kids are probably not just in Eastern Kentucky, it's all around the country, you know,
yeah,
poverty's everywhere. It's on other continents. But just like give hope to others, like you're not destined to be where you are, you know, you're controlling
right,
your future. But just to be able to give back a little more personally, like one on one to some people, maybe. I'd like for us to kind of like figure out
yeah.
how we can do that. You know, it's
Well,
just giving
uh,
money is to me is just not enough. Maybe like sharing your story, and not that I'm living like I'm
well,
not in Hollywood. I'm not a celebrity by any means. I'm
well,
just saying.
there's another artist I really admire that's gone through a lot of adversity. Uh, Elton John. Uh, this guy has literally came from nothing, and now uh, he's one of the best artists in the world, and I've really come to admire Elton John. I mean, just
Okay,
he, I mean, because he's purely a person that's like no matter what happens, no matter how many times you get knocked down, you get back up. He's like Rocky, you know. It's like nothing is going to hit you harder than life,
right.
and
Well, I
it
wanted to
isn't
read his
how hard you hit.
biography.
Yeah, it's like it's not how hard you hit, it's how hard you can get hit and keep getting up and keep moving forward.
Okay. I like to remember that because I'll have to read his biography. You're talking about Rocky. Sylvester Stallone's another
Mm,
one. His biography is,
yeah,
well, the one that came out, I think, on Netflix doesn't really get in deep. But if you listen to his daughter's podcast, Unwaxed, he's on there as a guest. He goes deeper after that was aired. He goes deeper about his
yeah,
parents, his life. It's just like he wasn't wanted from the get go.
yeah.
Never wanted. And look where he's at, and he's a good father, and look what he's achieved. And when I was listening to this podcast, that podcast, I was just crying. I was so emotional because I think it's hard for people to understand if you don't come from I don't know, a hard life, a hard upbringing, and you know, it's hard to understand. Like you can have empathy, but you just can't
Yeah.
relate. Like I got friends I shared some things with, but they have empathy, but they don't understand. Like, but at the same time, that was a lifetime ago. I've learned how to let it go. But when I was listening to that podcast, I couldn't help but getting getting just very emotional, and he did too. When he was telling it, he got emotional.
Yeah.
It was something to hear. But yeah, you like Sylvester Stallone, listen to his daughter's podcast Unwaxed. But I'm plugging them. But no, Kenny, I get it. Okay, so I'm going to listen to Elton John's story then, because there's some things I must not know about him. So I'm a fan of his, but I become more of a fan of people if they have, if they're like the real underdog. They come from nothing to something. It doesn't mean you got to be from nothing to a celebrity. It can just be from nothing to a beautiful family, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right.
I feel like I'm living a dream every day with my little family.
Yeah.
My dogs.
Well, you
are too.
Dang, you certainly have a life that is, again, growing up, you have a life that is a dream, and congratulations to you. You and Jeremy have done great.
You too, and our siblings, you know. Magnum, my God, look at him too. He's just, dang. We're all very fortunate. Really, all five of us, we're very fortunate. I really do believe this. We have five siblings total, all of us. So, you know, we're all doing just fine. So,
can you imagine five?
No.
At what point did you think that our mom and dad realized how that happens?
Well, it's not like they did try to. It's not like they didn't try to prevent it. From what I've heard, but
they weren't very good at it.
But no, I'm really grateful for everything that we have, and I'm so happy we get to do this. I know this is a longer podcast than what people are usually used to. Sorry, a little bit too much to drink. But I really do think me and Ken need to have a segment together. Cigars and bourbon.
Sure.
I think but much shorter, like 15 or 20 minutes, just touching base on things every week or bi-weekly. But I always have so much fun with my brother.
Cigars and bourbon with a little bit of coffee involved.
Like Dennis Leary would be proud. Like I'm almost to the tip of it, like the end. Is that? That's probably bad.
Well, you know, I'm very thankful, you know, that we have each other, and
Me too.
you've all turned out, you know, just beyond our wildest dreams.
Yeah, think about none of us are like ever been in real trouble at all. So we've been really blessed. Mom and Dad really did, honestly, raise 5 good kids. So.
Yep, and at the end of the day, I really don't think they have anything to hang their head down low about. I think they should be very, very proud.
No, and I love our mother.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if our dad was still alive and just seen us now?
I do wonder sometimes. Well, I wonder about it all the time, not sometimes.
I think he'd be very proud.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But thank God for our mom. Our mom's been amazing too. Yeah. So she's been amazing.
Our mother. I've always said our mother. My inheritance from her has always been her work ethic, and if I get nothing else from her in any other shape, form, or fashion, I am so thankful that I've inherited her work ethic.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's hard not to get emotional when you start thinking about some things.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Our mom is a good person, and she's I've always said she is kind of like our Uncle Si in our family. I mean, but she is just an awesome person, and she is just never a dull moment. Never a dull moment.
No, it's not. It's not. Everybody loves her too. I got some good stories to tell about Mom and Jennifer and stuff, so we'll get into it.
Oh
But,
yeah.
but Jennifer's been
And
adopted into my family, Jeremy's family. She's stuck.
well, you two, you you two are like sisters, and you're both just absolutely drop dead gorgeous, and I think you two are like two perfectly matched gears.
Well, we're all going to go
So
karaoke. I invited Melody to go with me and Jennifer, but you got to go too. We're going to have fun and we're going to sing. We're going to have a good time. Nobody
then
cares
I'm
who
gonna have
you
to get
are.
hammered.
Oh, well, yeah, it's
I'm
part
gonna
of
have to get
it.
hammered.
It's okay. It's part of it.
I need some of that liquid courage. I mean, I'm too reserved to get up and sing in front of a bunch of people and not be hammered.
Well,
So
Melody's got a few good places for us to go to, so it'll be fun.
nice.
It'll be fun. Now, Jennifer, she's high on life. She does not drink or anything like that. She's just high on life. You think she's drunk, but she's not. She's just happy. Just happy. I love it.
That that's
Well,
perfect.
Ken, I appreciate you doing this episode with me so much. I hope people love it.
Absolutely.
I like long episodes because of commuting, but I love you so much, and I hope I want people to reach out to us and tell some of their stories. If you're from Eastern Kentucky or Pikeville and you're around our age, like share some stories, hardships or not, or good things that's going on there right now. Because I love Pikeville. I do need to go back more,
Yeah.
especially for some of their fun events I keep seeing going on, their white parties and all that. I need to go. So,
Well, you know what next month is, don't you?
is it Gay Pride? I don't know. I don't
Hillbilly
know.
days.
Oh, well, I don't know about
Folks,
that one.
if you've
Maybe
never been, you've got to attend at least one.
I've not been there since high school. I have to think on that one. I have to think on that one.
Yeah.
I was like, sorry. Got to think about that one.
quick story. Well, quick story before we leave.
Okay.
The last one I went to, Abigail was about 6, and she was like, "Dad, what's a hillbilly?" And I was like, "Baby, you going to get ready to meet some." She's like, "Dad, is Nana Karen a hillbilly?" Yes, she is.
Like, just listen. She should have said, "Is Aunt Carol?" Just listen to her, honey. There's hillbillies and hillshillies. I'm a hillshilly.
That's right. But
It's so cool.
Mom
It's all
is the
good.
most fashionable hillbilly you'd ever meet.
Yeah, that she is.
Yeah.
She is. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you though, I do need to look more into hillbilly days because I do know like Shriners is a big part of it. I'm really about like charities and stuff. So like I would definitely contribute and go to it. I just need to look more into it because I associate childhood stuff with that, and I need to separate it and I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Good thing.
We'll figure it out. But
Well,
I love you, Ken.
yeah,
Thank you so
absolutely.
much for
I love
doing
you
this.
too, and
I
I'm
love
going to take the
you.
opportunity to polish this off, and
I still
I
got a
am
lot
going
to
to enjoy
go,
my Friday.
but
Yeah.
it's only 3:27. I still have hours to go, so I got plenty of time.
And that is why you're awesome.
And that is the rest of the story.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
Well, sis, I
Love
love
you,
you.
Ken.
Again, thank you. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you.
You
Thank you. Thank
too.
you.
You too. Love you.
All right. Love you too, sis.
Oh, Kenny, that was so great. I just
Oh my God.